Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Gayest and Greatest Secrets Having this side of Limsa Minsa, the queer buccaneer. I am your host with the most, your star behind the bar, Captain Eden Jackson. And it is Wednesday, which means we are doing another one of these logo speedrun challenge things, graphic design done quick, the wheel of logos, whatever you want to call it. Good Games Done Casual, welcome in. Demo, Neil, Kona, welcome in all of you. Duck, if you want to Woobs VT, thank you for the follow. Duck, if you want to send some guy pretending to be your lawyer. Okay, here's my deal. What do you mean? I mean, that's the thing. Like when you follow someone on Blue Sky and on the socials and stuff, like it's happened to me as well. Like I have not realized I'm not following because I've been to their streams because I see them announce the streams on like Blue Sky or like in Discord. So I never need to follow them. I get it. It happens to me a lot. But yeah, Duck, if you call off some guy pretending to be a lawyer, then I won't tell the Games Done Quick team to send their guys pretending to be lawyers after you. Does that sound like a deal? That sounds like a deal to me. But yeah, if you've not been to one of these streams before, the way it works is we have a big wheel that we spin, and whatever that wheel lands on, we then have approximately 2 hours, but we have then a speed run of redesigning the logo for that fake brand. Normal milk time. So what we do in that time is we research, we mood board, we get the shit out. Getting the shit out is a very important part of the process. And then we make a good logo, we make variations, we make a color scheme and all that jazz. Usually clocks in around the 2 hour mark. But it's a really fun process. I have updated the wheel spinning process. So now if you use the reward, the channel point reward to add something to the wheel, it is going to just automatically add to the wheel. Fingers crossed. Because I have rejigged the entire wheel spinning process. It will now automatically add your redemptions to the wheel. I forget the Wednesday's logo. What the fuck kind of pointless animal am I? You are a good kind of animal. Also welcome Vin as well. So yeah, if you redeem the add to the wheel thing, can still add only. What I'm gonna do is I am gonna right now take that limitation off. If you promise to be good. If you promise to be good about it, I will take that off. Let me go into my channel point rewards. I will limit you to 3. I will limit you to 3 per person per stream. Be good about it, or I'll turn it back down to 1. Yeah, now it should automatically add whatever you redeem to the stream, to the wheel. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open the wheel text file now, and I'm going to watch it to see if somebody redeems, if it adds to the end of the list. Vault-Tec already on there, but I will add it again just for funsies. It did. It added. Oh, the wheel auto. Yeah, Vin, I added it between when you mentioned it and now, just for you. But it works. Fuck yeah, it works. So yeah, if now I don't have to automate. I don't have to manually add in things to the wheel. The only problem with this, the Ministry of Silly Walks. That's such a good one. That's such a fucking good one. That's so good. I hadn't even considered the Ministry of Silly Walks. But yeah, the only problem is you can't see the wheel until it spins this time. But I'm gonna give you this time to get all of your redemptions out of your system if you have something to redeem. We do it. Yeah, we can do new. We did Lysander Labs last week. Lysander Labs didn't have a logo at all. So yeah, we can do anything that should have a logo. It can be just about anything. But yeah, I'm gonna give you this time. I'm gonna give you the intro time. Get all of your redemptions out of your system. If you want to add things to the wheel, now is your chance. Amber, welcome in. I have been playing a fair bit of Pokemon Legends ZA. Definitely on official hardware. Definitely not emulated. On an emulator that shares my name, which is very cool. The Citizen Sleeper Evil Soup. I've not played that yet. If I do research, I might get spoiled. Oh no. But yeah, so I've been playing a lot of Legends ZA, and I've been listening to a lot of other people's thoughts about Legends ZA. Hannah, what you've given me there is time-sensitive homework, because I now have to play that before it spins it on the wheel. I'm currently ranked C in ZA. And what a lot of people's problems, a problem that's come up in a lot of discussions that I've seen and had with people, is they don't like they really like they're pleasantly impressed with the idea. They're pleasantly impressed with the idea of the single city game setting. They say that works really, really well. They're surprised with how good that was, but their problem with the game is, one, still no voice acting. They could get away with it when it was in 2D, but they can't get away with it now because you can see the lip flaps of the characters. Two, the city feels lifeless because you can't interact with any of the building except like the 5 or 6 that you're supposed to go into. You have to just give up with the idea that the city is going to be like a living, breathing being, part of the story, and it's just sort of an avenue for you to get to A. I watched Birdkeeper Toby's 2 reviews of it that he put out today. Sorry, Lawkeeper Toby now. And he talked about like how he was really disappointed that sewers were just an extension of that, the same thing again. And you know what? I agree with all of this. I agree with all of this criticism of the game. I think the game does fall a bit flat, and I think we are being very forgiving of the game because it is a Pokemon game. But if you want a game, people are really saying they like the new combat system as well, which I quite like the new combat system. I don't think it'll work for mainline Pokemon games, but for the Legends game, I think it really works. But if you like a game with a real-time combat system that is set in a single city, where the city feels like a living, breathing being, and you can, and it's really detailed and really densely populated and really thick. If you want a city that you can go into all the buildings and interact with people and talk to people and they have things to say, that a game that has voice acting, play like a dragon. What you want is the Yakuza franchise. Most Tavern is not on the wheel. What you want is the fucking Yakuza franchise. For real. This is generally true of most games. What you're after is the Yakuza games. Like, except if you're like really into Souls-likes, because Yakuza is many things, but it's not a Souls-like. But for real, if what you want is a game where the city feels like a living, breathing entity, a game where the city is as much a main character as the world around it, a game where the city is as much a main character as the characters in it, play Yakuza. Like the 3 big cities of the Yakuza franchise, Sotenbori, Kamurocho, and Isazaki Ijincho, those are as much characters as Kiryu, Majima, and Ichiban. They switch to turn-based, who knows where they'll go next. Okay, if they go to Souls-like, that will kill my enjoyment of the franchise. I despise Souls-like games. I just do not vibe with them that way. Sneer Enterprises from 1980s cartoon The Raccoons. Jesus Christ, that's a deep pull. Honestly, the underwhelming but overly forgiving of it, that is just Pokemon. Arceus was much the same. People were all over it, including me, but everyone's... Yeah. Arceus is, I think, the best Pokemon game they've released in a long time. I still have my criticisms with it, and if it weren't released with Pokemon in the name, nobody would want it. Whereas, like, again, any Yakuza game, you release that without the Yakuza title, and people are going to love it. You release it without the Like a Dragon title, people are still going to love it. There is a Stephanie Sterling's review of Legends ZA. Gives it a 4 out of 10, which is bold, but I think it's fair. Because if you rank it on, if you grade it on the curve of Pokemon games, it's quite good. But if you grade it on the curve of games that have come out this year, it's just nowhere near. Like, this is the same year that gave us like Expedition 33. Like, ZA doesn't hold up. They got a lot of scrutiny, but a lot of it's bad faith wank about water textures or whatever. Yeah. And like, there's a line between outdated and stylistic choice. With how the game looks now, I am tempted to call it stylistic choice. Neil, I think you forgot to redeem that time. You just typed that in chat. The big issue with Pokemon fan base is a lot of the scrutiny is general bad faith wank, which means, yeah. It's kind of like, and this is a bit of a throwback. It's kind of like when Ghostbusters 2016 came out. You had to say that was a good film, because any good faith criticism of Ghostbusters 2016 was lumped in with all of the bad faith criticism of Ghostbusters 2016. And if you wanted to discuss how that was Jupiter Mining Corporation, that's a good one. If you wanted to talk about the flaws in that movie, you would just be put in the same category as all of the whiny man children that didn't like the fact that there were women in Ghostbusters costumes. And I'm not going to say that it's on the same level, but it is a similar flavor of what's going on in the Pokemon franchise now. I have a lot of very good faith criticisms of the new Pokemon games. But I don't want to be put in the wanky hole with all of the wankers. You know what I mean? It's shit. But shall we spin the wheel now? I think you've got it. I think you've got all of these wheel additions out of your system. It's time to spin the wheel. I rewatched Ghostbusters 2016 the other day. It was on ITV. I really liked it when it came out, but it definitely have criticism on rewatch. Yes. Let's spin the wheel. I've got my new. I can now spin the wheel directly from this button on my Stream Deck. New wheel. It's on this side now. Just cover you up. But what are we doing? We are doing the Wild Pines group from Disco Elysium. And yes, Evangelion. Demo, thank you for gifting that sub to Bonky. How fucking fast is that? It's a big spin. It's a big spin. We are doing Disco Elysium. So let's go over here. Don't need to open any of that. They are overlapping. The wheel was a bit broken because it doesn't have adjustable text. But look, it posts the result in chat. It updates this layer here automatically that says the name underneath me. I think it's funky. I'm still ironing out the kinks. So today we're doing the Wild Pines group. So let's start the run. Wild Pines group, Disco Elysium. Disco Elysium, my favorite video game of recent history, just general history. One of my favorite games. One of, I think, the best uses of the formula of video game. So zoom into grandma mode. Can I fuck this? Stop taking that. Don't take that out of context. And what I'm trying to do is I've got this a plugin called Fuck This that like just gets rid of elements. And I thought I could make it go the whole screen, but alas, I can't. So, if you've never played Disco Elysium, this is going to be a lot. The Wild Pines group is one of the original 14 Revacholian Indo tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king himself centuries ago. The king is long gone, but the Indo tribes remain. The precise start was over 250 years ago, before 51, beginning as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samoan and Indonesian Isolas, and exploring the South Seminese and charting Lo Man Thang. Decades of effort and madness went into making it one of the biggest logistics conglomerates in the world. Its primary business is logistics and shipping. Big moves. Get your waders on. We're reading disco lore. Get your floaties. Get a coffee. We're reading disco lore. I need to read the disco book, but it's such a dense tome. There are many other interests, including oil and gas exploration. A lot of the lore is in... I assume a lot of the lore is in the book. And also, like, in optional... Sacred and Terrible Air, that's the one. My friend and I read Sacred and Terrible Air. The Sacred and Terrible Air, like... I want to read it. I might watch the Wooly Reads video and have Wooly Versus read it to me. That sounds like it might be better. Wild Pines is responsible for developing Martinez as a resort for their middle management. Unlike most of the Revacholian Indo tribes, for whom Martinez was a fitting tombstone, they failed to adapt and were absorbed. Wild Pines evolved and changed to make the most of the changing circumstances. The 51 is one of the richest corporations in the world, controlling 22 cargo terminals, responsible for shipping 8% of Elysium's cargo, employing 72,000 workers, and struggling to deal with the dock workers' union strike in Martinez. Unwilling to bend to their demands, the corporation resorted to using paid strike breakers, scabs, and mercenary squads to try and beat the 2,200 workers at the striking Terminal B into submission. The revenue for 50 was over 20 billion real. It was a good year, although there were years when the book's losses go into the billions as well, due to spending most of it paying the salaries of its 72,000 families that are employed by the group. As a global logistics conglomerate, the Wild Pines are also a favourite vehicle for smuggling. Tries to clamp down on business as best it can, but it is difficult to do at the best of times, and in lawless places like Revachol, it's doubly difficult. In 51, coinciding with the Union strike, the Wild Pines arranged for a massive traffic jam by pulling rank, or rather capital, with East Motor Track and shutting down traffic, stranding dozens of lorries at the gates of GRIH and hoping to strain the resulting mass of drivers for smugglers. The losses were considered acceptable, as otherwise several thousand litres of drugs, meth, and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and other assorted psychedelics would be on the streets of Revachol and destabilise it even further, thanks to Samoan factories working overtime to pour this poison out. So, long story short, the Wild Pines group is responsible for the city of Martinez, which is the district of Martinez. Very, very long story short, Martinez is the district of Revachol in which Disco Elysium is set. The Wild Pines group is a logistics company that created that place. It is, as it says here, the biggest logistics conglomerate in the world. So think Amazon but if they didn't do everything, they just did logistics and also oil and gas. Big evil trucks. That, in 3 words, big evil trucks. That's kind of it. This is their current logo. It's nothing. It's like literally nothing. I'm just going to save that in my downloads. I think it's, I don't even know what it's supposed to be, but, and Martinez has a lot of history and a lot of geography. Like, it is a bag of crap. So Martinez is a district in Revachol. Revachol is the capital of Le Caillou, which is the 4th largest island in the world. Disco Elysium's weird. If you've not played Disco Elysium, play Disco Elysium. Shell plus boring nameless shipping companies. That's also good. Shell plus, yeah, all of your freight companies. Well, I said Amazon because Amazon logistics is like legitimately huge. It's obviously not as big as AWS, but it is like a huge fucking part of their arm. Yeah, Shell plus freight companies. So there isn't a lot to go on without delving into Sacred and Terrible Air, which we're not going into Sacred and Terrible Air on this stream. That would be insane. If you have to play Disco Elysium, or I'll be forced to ban you after 3 streams of non-compliance. Yes, play Disco Elysium. There's a really good sign that was held up in an AEW show that just said, "Play Disco Elysium, you weebs." And whenever whenever it gets brought up, that is the phrase that comes into my head. Play Disco Elysium, you weebs. Don't buy Disco Elysium. Here's the wrinkle. Don't buy Disco Elysium. Because that's not something that we want you to do. However, I would never say go to archive.org and download Disco Elysium the Final Cut. I would never say that because that would be wrong and illegal and theft. But I don't want you to give money to Studio Zaum, or what the shell of which Studio Zaum is. That doesn't count. Bringing the tab up doesn't count as. No, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Let's get back over here, and let's grab my. There we go. Grab that. So that is the current logo, and let's get us some So we'll get the Shell logo. I think that's all the research we can do. So I think we're mood boarding now. Let's get the Shell logo. The Shell logo it's a shell. That's kind of it's simple. It's the first thing you think of. If it's literally a first draft. It's literally just a first draft because they were the company's called Shell. What's it going to be? Fucking a shell. We'll just do a shell. Yeah, I'm fully opening that can of worms on stream. Download Disco Elysium off archive.org. There we go. Grab the BP logo. Fucking sucks. This. What is this? It looks like a postage stamp, and not a good one. I understand what they're trying to do. I completely understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to greenwash being an oil company by having a green flower be their logo. But yeah, it looks like a chemical element thing. It looks like a postage stamp. The lowercase b, lowercase p, it just looks awful. Yeah, they're trying to do cutesy lowercase. They're trying to greenwash. It's wank. Does Amazon Logistics have its own logo? It does, but it's... I'll grab that one instead. Because that is also an absolute wank barrel logo. Because Christ alive. This is more first draft than this. This, you've gone, it's called shell. Fuck it, we'll just make a really nice shell. This one, you could slap any company and it'd be like, oh, logistics, innit? It's just logistics, innit? It's almost as wank as that, which is just the word logistic. Also, it's time to the International Green Party movement, which is what they are literally appropriating the International Green. Logistics logos are all various strokes arrows. There's a guy I know that's just started an independent logistics firm. God, you're right. And I am trying to bullying him into letting me do his logo because he literally doesn't have one at the minute. And I'm like, the first thing we do if I work on your logo is we go no arrows, no trucks. No arrows, no trucks, no nothing. Here are some good non-arrows. These two show movement quite nicely. I'll grab that, put that there. Like, none of those are good. Like, I'm gonna be real, none of these are good. UPS's is pretty nice, pretty iconic. But like DHL's is fine, KLLM is bad, JB Hunt is bad, Ward is bad, Schneider's is fine. I quite like Schneider's because that little cutout, the little tick that's missing looks wank, but then you notice the arrow in the negative space. The same kind of thing that FedEx does. The arrow that's built out of this tick and the N, it's quite nice. It's movement without movement. ABF looks wank. Maersk. Oh, hey, look. Hey, look, it's Mega Starmy. It's Mega Starmy. Speaking of Legends Archies, there's Mega Starmy over there. Look, this, okay, I'm gonna say something about this star. You'll either understand it instantly, or you will have no idea what I'm talking about. This star looks like it has a wedgie. Do you understand what I mean? It looks like it has a wedgie. Like, it looks uncomfortable. The prongs, you get it. Why did they give the star a wedgie? Those prongs are too tight. Give that star some breathing room. Maersk, give your star some breathing room. Right. Patrick had a bad day. Logistics company wouldn't be able to place using a kind of jigsaw thing. Maybe, but I generally wouldn't use jigsaw pieces as jigsaw pieces in logos, just because of, honestly, the association with autism speaks. I don't want anybody to think that you are associated with autism speak. Oh, I should close my emails. That's a program I shouldn't have opened on stream. Fuck Maersk. All my homies hate Maersk. Are you familiar with Maersk? Are they a Nordic freight company? But yeah, like this one's fine. Danish, I see. I don't know what counts as Nordic and what counts as like Scandinavian. I know Finland doesn't count as Scandinavia because of the term Finno-Scandia, which is a really fun word. Danish is Scandinavian and Nordic. So yeah, it's like circles within circles. concentric Venn diagrams, and then there's Finland. Yeah. None of these companies I have ever heard of. That's so bad. Both of those are really bad. The truck is that truck is too similar to the F1 logo, right? Way too similar to the F1 logo. Just me? I'm not really an F1 guy, but like that, I assume that's the before and after. I'm not even gonna. Maersk is not very good, guys. Nazi collaboration. Fucking hell. Fuck Maersk. All my homies hate Maersk. It definitely isn't F1. I'm glad somebody could come in and go, yeah, you're not insane. Oil company logo. Me living in the multi-name mess that is the UK. God, it's just impossible to tell. It's just impossible to tell. Like, it's so simple. England is part of Great Britain, which is like the United Kingdom, except Great Britain doesn't involve Northern Ireland, but the United Kingdom does involve Northern Ireland. The Republic of Ireland is a different thing, despite being attached to Northern Ireland and generally being drawn with the rest of the UK. It doesn't count as the UK. There's also the Channel Islands and Jersey and Guernsey, the Isle of Man, the Isle of Wight, all of those. They're separate things. And don't get me started on Gibraltar. But it's impossible to tell what's Nordic and what's Scandinavian. There's a lot. It's not that it's impossible to tell. It's that I forget. It's just that I forget. Let's grab all of these logos. I'm gonna get rid of these and replace them with this one big Pikachu. I forgot the Falklands. Oh no. Thatcher's coming for me. Can never forget the Falklands. We need them for strategic sheep purposes. I don't much care for remembering what does and doesn't count as the UK. A deep rumble in the distance. For the brief time that I was engaged in the website W Place, I did check out what the Falkland Islands were doing in W Place, and basically it was covered in Argentine flags. Thatcher would have been 100 this month, but she didn't make it. Shout out to Thatcher being dead. That was a lot. We've ranked these. Now let's rank these terrible companies. The Shell logo is fine. It's inoffensive, but it doesn't, like, nothing about it says oil company. Total is very, like, 2000s. Like, the company that made the London 2012 or the Rio World Cup, the Rio 2016 World Cup logo, or was it the Rio Olympics logo? Maggie's in the fucking mud. The same company that made the Rio logo would have made this. I need to find out what I'm talking about now. Rio Olympics logo. It must be that one. Yeah, look at it. Same thing. Same shit. Very early 2000s. Not good. BP fucking sucks. Just the fact that it's trying to be cutesy and greenwashing and bad. Petronas, I assume, is a Latin American company or Spanish company. I don't quite understand what it's doing, but it's doing something. Shout outs for originality, I guess. The weight of the circle is really thick, really weighty. What I do quite like about this is this sort of fold to the right somehow doesn't make it look weighted to one side. It's still balanced despite being unbalanced. You know what I mean? That's some good optical design over mathematical design. Of course that gets clipped. That's gonna be my new go-to sharing clip. Like, why should you come hang out in this stream? Here's why. PetroChina, do you have to do a Land of the Rising Sun logo for China? That's just kind of bad, isn't it? Indian Oil, it looks like, okay, Edmonton Oilers. I'm getting big Edmonton Oilers. I need to, for context, Iron Brew or Edmonton Oilers. Like, you're seeing what I'm seeing? You're seeing the vision? Like, it looks like it's in partnership with. Could also be Iron Brew. Chevron. Yep, those are definitely chevrons. I've got nothing more to say. Those are chevrons. I don't like the little fade here. Makes it look like it's folded paper, which has nothing to do with oil. PTT Group. Oddly Yonic. Designed by Georgia O'Keeffe. Looks like a vagina. I don't know what else to say. BR Petrobras. Shite. Absolutely shite. Got nothing good to say about that. That's bad. I see the vision, gas, flame. However, if you're an oil company, maybe don't bring up fire in your branding. There's a reason nobody else has brought fire in. Fire is a very dangerous thing. You don't really want to be associating that with... It would be like making your logo a drowning seagull. Exxon Mobil. The double X is kind of iconic. For reasons that I don't quite like. It's fine. I think it's just iconic through time, through use. Poch. I don't even know how to pronounce that letter. There are letters in here that I can't pronounce, but I do quite like the logo. It's doing something very different. It's quite modern. It's quite striking. I wish I could pronounce the name of the company, but I'm too English. Read stupid. Saudi Aramco. This logo sucks. This double X could be read as a weird H, but you read it as an X. You read it as at least one X. Like, you read it as maybe XY before you read it as a H. Saudi Aramco, I like that this sucks because that means no good designers want to work with the Saudis. Which, you know, fair. Terrible, terrible logo. Like, don't work for any oil company. At all. Luke Oil. Luke Oil. This is very, like... It's giving, like, kids' toy. This is way too childlike to be an oil company logo, right? It's a lot. It's biscuits. Yes, is it Lu? Is it just called Lu, the biscuit company? Look, yeah, it's just that. It's so close to being Lu. But what if I take all of the money and use it to revive Steve Irwin for wildlife conservation? I mean, that's an option. Like, if for some reason an oil company did want to work with me to rebrand the logo after I've just dragged them all through the fucking mud, I would charge them at least like 20 times what I charge anybody else. Because one, I know they can pay it, and two, how would I sleep at night resting on a bed of money? I want to be paid a year's salary to rebrand them. 20 would be like the bare baseline, you know? It would probably be like, I would want at least a year's salary of a top of the line designer. But yeah. I'd say no anyway. Give them the crappiest logo you can, and yes, they don't know what the fuck they're on about. The joy of being a designer is pitching the logo is as much part of the job as designing the logo. So it's my job to sell them the logo, and I can just come up with some bullshit, you know. Y'all have seen the Pepsi. Y'all have seen the Pepsi rebrand book that came out, where they talked about the gravitational pull of Pepsi. I'll just put one of those together. Right, let's do our 10 words. We do the 10 words for Wild Pines Group. Yeah, the Pepsi Bible. And of course I'll add some secret we're evil in there. There'll be like devil horns in there if you... Yeah, usually you're trying to avoid a penis or a swastika, but maybe if an oil company asks for a rebrand, I would, for $7 billion, give them a swastika made out of penises, but like subtle. And maybe some like devil horns in there somehow, also made of penises. Maybe that's what we do for the Wild Pines Group. Okay, oil, big. Okay, Wild Pines Group. I don't want bullets in them. Give me. They are oil. They are logistics. They are evil. Swiss Bank would love a swastika made out of penises. For real though, so many designers will post their shit onto r/logo design, and we'll go, guys, how does this look? And the top comment will be, you've drawn a swastika, my friend, or you've drawn a penis, my friend, or there's the very rare, you've drawn a vagina, my friend. We could go to r/logo design, sort by top, and just go, that's penis, that's a swastika, that's a penis, that's a swastika. Maybe it won't. Maybe I'll make that a stream. Colonizers? That's just evil. It's just kind of evil again, but it's a specific subgenre of evil. They are globe spanning. It's not the globe because it's Elysium, which isn't the same, but let's go back to the page and see what we can pull. Union. I don't know how the branding would encompass union busters, but they do pay the families of the people. Flat earthers all around the globe. Exactly. Like union busting pays the families of the employees. Interesting. I don't know what this is supposed to be. Can anybody see what that is supposed to be? Because it's just a circle with some shapes. A circle with some shapes in it. And also, it's nothing to do with pines. Pines, famously a triangular tree. Right? Famously triangular tree. Is it a representation of the peninsula? Maybe. Maybe. No. Because it doesn't look like... can you give it... It's a flag of that. Can you give me a map of Revachol? Yeah, it looks nothing like it. Looks nothing like it. Can you give me a map of Revachol? Yeah, it's racist Gaz's flag. So that's racist Gaz, and that's not Marx. And I have a version of that tattooed on me. I don't have a version of that tattooed on me. I don't have a version of racist Gaz's flag. But yeah, I don't know what that's supposed to be. For real, dudes. So they don't like drugs. They don't like unions. So anti-union. anti-smuggler, anti all of the cool stuff, anti-drugs. But I think they want to look friendly, because all of these companies kind of want to look friendly. Despite, like, it's the quintessential, like, evil company that wants to look not evil, right? And their current color scheme is this, like, brown and white. Is that just, like, bum-ass pure white? That is bum-ass pure white. Bum-ass pure white. I mean, I'm gonna come out and say it. That's wank, that is. I make a habit of never using what I'm continuing to call bum-ass pure white. Like, this is a me thing, but I think if you use pure white or pure black in your brand color palette, it looks lazy. Like, it just looks like you didn't try, you know? This might just be a me thing. But I wouldn't use bum-ass pure white or bum-ass pure black. Yeah, I think it's ideation time. Right. The easiest thing to start with would be a pine tree. What does a wild pine look like? Is that just a pine tree? Yeah, pine tree, famously triangular. Pine cone? This is supposed to be a pine cone, is it? No, that looks nothing like a pine cone. Like, ooh, we might. What is it? This company is a logistics company. There's also an oil and gas company. It is exploration, cargo, fleet, logistics conglomerate, oil and gas exploration, moving shit being a company. Maybe it looks like one of the things. The things. It does kind of look like a real, like, super zoomed in pine cone. I maybe like the idea of doing, like, some of this, making it look like using a. Okay. Let me get the shit out. We're in get the shit out mode. Side note, forget the shit out mode before we begin. You only have a couple of days left to get the shit out journal, which is this round of the Buccaneers bounty drop. If you join the Ko-fi at the Buccaneers bounty membership at before the end of October and carry it on until November, you get the shit out journal, which is a place for you to put all of your shit ideas so you can make your good ones. So I have this idea for, we're going to look like movement. We're also going to look like, thank you for the Ko-fi link demo. We're going to look like movement. We're also going to look like the, we're also going to look like one of those things, it's like pine tree, like, what is it? It's not a leaf. It's a finger. It's a finger. That's not the word, but I'm not a botanist. Bonks, thanks for the lurks. As an aside, yes, we do have to use the I'm lurking command now. Otherwise, Twitch stops counting you as an active viewer, which is a penis. Spine. Is that what they're called? Right, I've got. So what I think I want to do is that kind of thing, or that might be too thin. Like, is that anything? That might be nothing, but I'm gonna continue doing it. And there's definitely a quicker way to do this. There's definitely like an Illustrator shortcut that will do that quicker. Let's give that a O for flipping. We want a horizontal flip that way, thank you. And now we can shift that back. Oh, we've got some stank on the bottom there. It's out of sync, but just by a little bit. If you leave a bit at the end, it looks like a pine tree on its side. It does. Which wasn't intentional, but isn't unwelcome, you know? And the pine spine. The problem with this is, what do we do with scale? It doesn't scale very well. The pine spine has a thing on the end with little nubbins on the end. Do we do the little nubbins? Pine tree spine. We want the they can't be calling those penis. They can't be calling those things penis. Penis? They're all called penis? That can't be right. Come on, science boys. They're all called penis. Penis ponderosa. Penis. Penis resinosa. Penis strobus. That's when your dick flashes. Penis banksiana. Not gonna say that one out loud. Penis sylvestris. It's Sly Stallone's cock. The wizard may ponder their orbs, but the botanist ponderoses their penis. The arborist is ponderosing their penis. We're adults here. We're very adult here in the Queer Buccaneer Bar. There's the little. Show me the little nubbins. Is there no nubbins? Oh, we're sure there were nubbins. They're berries. I know what a berry is. Maybe there's not little nubbins. I am often myself ponderosing the penis. Is that too much of that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 at the minute. Are there any like numbers? 14 of Australian tribes, but that's not something that's important. 22 cargo terminals. Like there's no like. Yeah, see, all of this stuff is in the Joyce Messier dialogues. I think maybe do different branches of the business, but like all of that is like vague because it says many other interests. So we could shorten it to like let's take this, let's put it over here. Now we've got a raw copy to work from. Like we could just go for like six of the bastards, and now we've got a shorter, more direct. Guys. Am I onto something, or am I insane thinking we take 2 of these and let's introduce some shape building. And now we have a really cool looking W. It's really wide. Within the context of Elysium, how well does it need to scale? They don't have social media tech. That's true. That is true. So it won't need to scale all that bad. Adds up in a few seconds. Sorry about that. I'm going to try. Let's try just like a 20 degree. Go to these. Like, I am in my own head about designing for like modern real life design sensibilities. Like, they probably will not need to scale all that much. So we can go a little bit more complex. Let's flip those. Yeah, giant ass containers and a letterhead. That's probably about as much as it will be. Ooh, why is that? Right, again, this may be an absolute pile of wank idea, but it is looking a little bit like Volkswagen, which is another big evil company. Like, okay. What do we think to the double pines? Yeah, another Nazi thing. We've stumbled into another bit of Nazi Nazi iconography with the VW. Define collaborators. Arrows pointing down, bad. Arrows pointing up. Does it look too much like an M? Arrows pointing forward. Delivering your goods straight to hell. It can be. Yeah. See, the reason I went for this because it looks like a W. A really ornate W. Upright looks like 2 aliens. It does kind of look like 2 aliens, you're right. Maybe this idea is a bag of wank then. See, now we're getting into, looks a little bit like the British Rail logo. If we add another line to the middle there. There's the old AA logo from the 60s. I do not have that frame of reference. AA logo, 1960s. Not the American Airlines logo. This? This? Looks nothing like that. The Unity Service Recovery. It's got a triangle in it. That, okay, that, I get what you're saying there with that one. I understand what you're saying this one. This one. The pick you up when you crash company. Let's go to that. I do like this, like, big chevron design. What I'm gonna do is I want to try and recreate this, just so that if I ever have to make any changes, I don't have to resort to making it all from scratch again. So let's swap transform and go 10 copies that are all this far apart. Okay, how thick is the bar itself? The bar itself is 418 pixels. So, if we go 418 with 10 copies. Yeah, what's half of 418? 209? And that looks really far apart. But now we've got this, which spins. What is this jam? This jam is Sultry Stride by Too Mellow. I really should get a bot that posts. I really should like program bot looking here to post Spotify songs. That'd be quite neat, I think. Let's go scale that. We want 200 pixels. Seemingly we can't do that. Do we only want 9 copies? We might only want 9 copies. I think we want to go quite tight on it. Like that was too wide. Or stop the now playing from. That's true. I can do that. That's a lot easier. That's a lot easier to do. I just thought that people would want it to disappear to not clog up the space. Now that's really, really tight. And I'm not sure if that's too much. I think there's something in this design. I think there's something here. Like, and he turns the phone to the bar with nothing to see anyway. It's only, yeah, but like Wrestling Silly, we only ever play the Wrestling Silly music. So, I can change that. Can I change that? Do I know how to change that? I should be able to change that pretty easily. Anyway, we're still in the process of getting out our shit. Width 600 by 200. Actually, give me that instead. And then let's. I think there's something in this idea of the sort of the pine tree looking thing. But it's all in the execution, I think. Sunday worship in the Pilgrim Center. Yeah. Look, you've all been godless heathens. This has been a bit this whole time to get y'all in the church. Oh, that's a funky little shape. It's not the right shape, but it's a funky little shape. We want these, we want these, we want these, and maybe we want that. Okay. This shape looks a little bit bird's foot. I've just now noticed it looks a little bit bird's foot. But it's an arrow, it's kind of a W. I don't like it. The more I look at it, the less I like it. Birds. Oh, carrier pigeons. Okay, but that's kind of funky. Don't hate that. Got a bit of stank on it. What does it mean? Who knows? But I kind of dig it. Like, maybe it needs some just minor readjustment. Like, I don't hate that. Like, it's... And now that it's a smart object, I can go in and pull this around and just do these minor readjustments, see how things would look. Like, I think just... Oh, ooh. Do we want to round off these two corners as well? Ooh. No, I don't think we do. Like, what is it giving? What is it giving? Would it work the other way up? Is it modern art trees? Are they pine trees? They're pine trees. They're movement. Okay. Go with me here. No. Transform. Give me a warp. You know I love my warp filters. No, that's garbage. Yeah, the problem is mild pines. Wild pines. Mild pines. But wild, mild, wild. We gotta set it to Wombo. You gotta set it to Wombo. Problem is, I really like how this looks. Reminds me of the Science Museum magma. I don't recognize that. What if we colored it in stank brown? Honestly, I don't hate this. It's in Sheffield. I will go there next time in Sheffield. I've got so many friends that live in Sheffield. I really need to go back to Sheffield at some point. But that requires a reason to go to Sheffield. Because, like, I can only justify going to a place if I'm working. So that way I get paid to go there. So I need somebody to book a comedy show or a magic show in Sheffield, preferably pirate themed or gay, and then you can pay me to come and perform there. Okay. Gay themed, yes. I said pirate themed or gay, I believe were my words. Okay, let's look at colors. We're not using bum-ass brown and bum-ass pure white. Oh, that's that rich mahogany. Oh, fucking rolled a blinder with that one, didn't we? Oh, like, I don't hate this as a concept, and we're not using bum-ass white because it's transparent. Like, I quite dig this. I don't know if will grabbing this path and extending it. Because now, okay, now it looks less like a letter, but you still got those 3 pine trees. Like, it's giving 2 guys in capes kissing. Yeah. Love wins. Give me a moment. I need to... Two guys in capes kissing. What a time. What a time to be alive. What if I do this to it? Does this... Yeah. Yeah. Now they're gay. Yeah. Anyway. I'm happy with this. I quite like this. Like, we ideated, we found this idea, which I wasn't a huge fan of. We've pushed into this. I am happy to go into final ideas territory now. As an aside, anybody else arting right now? I really, really like the idea that people put this on to make art along with me, even if it's completely unrelated to what we're doing now. I encourage you, make art along with me. Let me know how it's going. I got started distracted. Story of my life, that is. Honestly, story of my life. We've got a really nice, we could do a really nice pattern thing with that. If we were exploding this into a full brand thing. Which is what it's called. Like, it's not a visual identity, it's a full brand thing. You grab your secondary color and you whack it in there, and then you got a full pattern. Is this a Wario company? No, this is clearly a Mario company. Boop, boop, boop. Mario. I've theoretically been arting brackets video game. In practice, I've been staring at a type conversion thing that I need to pull together over exactly 0 additional lines of code. Am I too distracting? Is that it? Also, bear with me. I'm just going to move over here so I can open OBS. Actually, what am I doing? My OBS is on the other screen. I can open OBS all the goddamn well, please. Oh no, it's in the fucking... Oh, I thought the Spotify thing was something that I could just alter the URL of. But no. It just gives me the oh no, it is, yeah. The very end. I can take that off, I think. And it will refresh. Let me try something. Yeah, it's there all the time now. Right, yeah, fuck Spotify. All my homies say Spotify. Like, I'm about to go on a very bad tangent. Nobody gets a Spotify subscription. Fuck Spotify. All my homies say Spotify. They're running ice ads. We hate that. All of my music library is already in Spotify. I have looked at moving to Tidal. But the problem is... the problem is my like stream widgets and stuff only work with Spotify or YouTube Music, and I don't have YouTube Music. And most of them just work with Spotify. But fuck Spotify. I hate it here. I full on hate it here. I was for a while trying to build my own music library outside of Spotify, just using a Jellyfin server, but that got really expensive and I got really poor. Looking at these other companies, maybe we move out of the poo brown and bum ass pure white, because there's a lot of bright colors here. Maybe we move into a brighter color. Like Revachol, not a very brightly colored place, but maybe we look into a brighter color. Like, they use a lot of like base bright colors. So there's a lot of reds, a lot of yellows, a lot of greens, a lot of blues. It's primary colors, it's base, it's... I think we stay in the warmer side of the spectrum. Maybe change that bum-ass brown into a nice, more vibrant orange. It's kind of like... This is gonna sound a little bit... This is gonna sound a little bit oxymoronic, but this is kind of like a cool orange. It's kind of like a cooler orange, if such a thing could exist. I'm still trying to like... I'm still looking at like adjusting this shape, maybe. Oh, that does not look good on that. We're gonna need some backup colors. Like, the easiest option would be to go with the green, right? That's the easiest option. Go with the green. The problem with going with green is the... So that, when they're all lined up, it looks like that, which doesn't sell tree as much as having them be longer. Maybe just like a little stumpy guy. What do we think? The Mario or the Luigi? I kind of dig the stumpier guy. I think the stumpier guy is better. I'm kind of team stumpy guy. Like, not full stump. But there's got to be an element of stumpiness to it to draw. Because the full focus is the trees. I think we get rid of him. And we're stumpy guy. Does fit a square better. It's got a firm baseline. It fits a square. Good shit. No. Don't like it as that. Hannah brought up orange pines. Maybe we go for a green. The BP went green. Saudi Aramco went green. Like, nobody went with this darker green. Like a slightly earthy green. Almost like a pine. We could use a colour from Racist Gary's flag. Revachol. Like, the Revachol is bum-ass brown. Orange evergreens does give climate destruction, and we don't want to be reminding the people of climate destruction. That's bad branding. Bum-ass brown, yellow, blue and white. I'll be honest, not a great flag color swatch. To be honest with you. What am I doing? Don't worry, it will make sense momentarily. I'm seeing. What it would look like if I went and spoiled it all by saying something stupid like nothing. Ignore me. I'm being silly. So this is on the reverse. It looks pretty snazzy on the reverse as well. I kind of dig that. It's a good vibe. I'm happy. I'm. The more I look at this, the more I'm happy with it. Like, I really like the combination of the softer edges and the harsher spikes. Like, we could try rounding off the spikes, but yeah, I think we will round off the spikes actually. Just the top ones. I think these ones can stay. Let's have a look to see how these look rounded out. So this, and let's round them all off together. This. That's too much. It's far too much. Just taking the edge off them. And here as well. Okay, we can't take the corner off here, because that's not actually an established shape. However, we do have a backup of this one. So let's expand this out. And now it's just a shape. We can grab all the corners at once. and go. Wee. Oh. No. No, bad idea. Bad idea. I think just round off these two corners up here. I overcomplicated. Over-egged the pudding, as I am one to do. The underside ones I'm not so keen on between the trunk and the leaves. The top does what nice, yeah. Over-egging, as I am one to do. But you gotta try things. Because if you don't try them, you never know if they're bad ideas. Not to put anybody in my personal life on blast, but I just got a text from somebody saying, "Hey, my mates are going out for Halloween and we want to all dress up as pirates. Do you happen to have any pirate clothes that I can borrow?" Do I happen to have any pirate clothes? Now, it's going to be a bit of a stretch to find some pirate clothes in time. I just might, if I look very hard in and around. Yeah, me famously never dresses like a pirate. Famously never gets paid to dress up like a pirate. Famously hates the pirate aesthetic. Does Pirate Captain Eden Jackson have any pirate clothes? For reals, though. I'm gonna lend them to him on the proviso. If he gets too drunk and bombs on him, he's got to buy me new ones. Wild pins. I've shown y'all my font that's just called Bad Type, right? It's my goal to one day use this font called Bad Type successfully use Bad Type. It's so bad. Look at it. Wild Pins Bowling Alley. Fucking look at this awful font. It makes every possible mistake a font could make. Every single letter hurts to look at. But just part of me part of me wants to be able to use this what the heck is going on with that S? Also, hello, Darla. The S, let's have a look at the S. The S not only has a cap on one side but no cap on the other, but the bottom is narrower than the top, which is the wrong way to do an S. You could fix this. You cannot fix this S, but you could fix this S in part by just doing that. Now it doesn't look nearly as heinous. The cap on one end and no cap on the other. It goes sans serif to serif in the space of drawing the letter. This is so good. This E is so good because this is so off center. Are you fucking for real? It's just so off center, but there's no center for it to go to. It's just be fucking for real. The N. Sorry, I had a bit of a tantrum with that. Someone had a lot of fun. The N, it's really tall, really top heavy, and you've got 4 different sized caps. So good. The dot of the I is too small. The dot of the I is too small. And also the I is too tall. This P is too long, far too long. The L goes serif to sans serif. This is so whoever made that font, I fucking salute you. Somebody mentioned Monsters Inc. credits energy, and to that I say I have a whole bunch of Filmo type fonts that are that exact energy. Like, look at this shit. It's not the right vibe for this project, but look at this shit. Filmotype is an old like 50s font, 50 style font repository. I downloaded them for use on a project that I just wrapped. Does that font have different upper or lower cases? It does. It seems to be like mono case, but there's a whole, as you can see, there's a whole bunch of funky ligatures. So like, if you put up the word Aldo, the A, the L, and the D all transform into one ligature. That's the idea of a really, that's the sign of a really good font. Like the two F's combine, the F and the I combine. Bad type. Let's go back to bad type. Bad type. Bad. There are different letters. Like, look at the capital D versus the lowercase d. They're so radically different. You got the two A's that just both look wrong. The two B's both look heinous. The two C's, fundamentally different characters. Oh, I love that lowercase e so much. The two F's, it's just like, what flavor of wrong would you like? Both of those H's irritate me so much. Like, look at that. The top and the bottom are different widths. Ugh. They even managed to fuck up J twice. But yeah, bad type, great font. Real fun. Real fun font. One day I'll find a project one day I'll find a project where I can justify using bad type. But that's not this project. We are going for the Wild Pines group right now. So we need a good, boring, safe, normal. This font's got to say normal. Who made that? It's an Adobe font. I got it from Adobe Fonts. It's called Bad Tip. Let me just log into Adobe Fonts. Don't worry, you won't see my password. It was made by Xavier or Javier or Carbaga from Carbaga type. And he does make good fonts as well. Lots of good fonts. And then just this absolute pain of a font. Buy him a trick. I will if I ever find it. I'll drop a fucking drop into his Ko-fi. You made my favorite worst font. I've used Big Black Bear a lot recently, but I really like this font. I'm now just getting to like font appreciation zone. I really like this font. It's chunky. It's got character without like it's got character without being overbearing, you know? Like I said, I've used it a lot recently. I used it for a rebrand of a writer, of a copywriter, and she was loving it, and it was very much sort of her kind of like, it has a I don't know how you guys see that this font has a personality, right? Like, it's saying things. It's very understated, but you can very much see that it's got something to say, you know? And now we learn font pairing. I need to write a blog post about font pairing. As an aside, if you like the part of the stream where I go off on one about design things, and if you like the part of the stream where I go off on one about design things and you learn things, then you should sign up to my newsletter. It doesn't have a name. It's just my design studio's newsletter where I talk about design opinions, expertise. I answer questions. I talk about rebrands. Let me drop a link. Like totally free, of course. I send an email maybe once a week that's just got at the minute I'm going through questions from non-designers, but I am going to expand into other kind of things as well. And somebody, naming no names, asked about font pairing, and I've mentioned it before. X height is something you wanna look at when you're pairing fonts. There's kind of three, like if you're not going for like X height is one of the ways to do it, but there's kind of like three avenues to go down with font pairing. There's you do one for form, one for function. So you do a pretty one and a reading one. And then you're looking at similarities and also contrasts. So you don't want two fonts that are too similar, or it looks like you forgot what font you had and then had to try and find a newish one. But on the other hand, you don't want to do too contrasty, like this. Terrible. A terrible font pair would be these two, because they are too dissimilar. So let me find one that is too similar. So Big Black Bear is our first font. Another font that is too similar would be something like this. It's too similar. So it looks like it's trying to be the same font. You want one that is clearly distinct from the first font, but not too distinct that it looks like it's trying to pull focus in a completely different way. You want it to be complementary but contrasting. So some people will choose a serif and a sans serif. I don't think serif fonts work for a lot of the projects that I do. So I'm going to go for a thin serif, a thin sans serif font, because this, okay, this is one that I've just sort of pulled out my arse. It's a fine pairing. Like it's nothing that's gonna change the world. But it pairs relatively well, because like if you type the word in both fonts, one is very thick, one is very thin, but they have similar shapes in them. So like both of the I's are just up and down letters. The D's, this is where the font pairing starts to break down. If you look at the S and the D, the S's and the D's, this D has a very small straight in it. This is a very broad angle. The P again is very shallow. There's almost a straight in there. The S, it goes left down, right down, left. This is very much one strict curve. When pairing fonts, you want to pick fonts that have similar elements to them. I feel like I'm making sense. So like this is where I can't find a good pairing font, and I have to go with that one. See, this one would be fine if it was wider. This one's too thin. This one too far in the other direction, far too wide. Draws too much attention. Do we have different weights of? That's just Calibri. We're not using Calibri. Now that's, I don't like the rounded edges on that. Otherwise, that would be fine. this might be the one. Like, again, you see, if I type the same letter in twice, you see the S is way more defined as it's left, down, right, down, left. The D and the P both have quite shallow angles on the end. It looks like it matches without actually being the font in the same family. I mean, like, obviously the easiest way to pair two fonts is to grab a bold and a thin variant of the same typeface. But we don't have that luxury here. What did I do there? I scaled that up. I scaled that down by approximately golden ratio, as you can see there. It's missing something. It's missing something. Let me... And that should fit exactly in there. Well, not exactly. Give or take. I'm gonna just adjust some placements. Because I think let's put a stroke on that. We're now in like proper finessing phase. And I do want to, because I've been getting lazy with the finessing phase, and I do want to do this properly this time, just to sort of showcase what proper sort of layout stuff looks like. So what I've done with the text is split it into thirds, and then got an extra third on the top and an extra third on the bottom. And that means it all should be quite lined up. I'm going to make this text the size of 2/3, or like the size of 2/3, but like eyeballed. It doesn't have to be an exact science, because designers will often get in their head about things being exact to the point where they forget that like the main driving force of what looks good isn't science, it's eyeballs. So everything needs to be in proportion, because things look better when they're in proportion, obviously. But at the end of the day, you want to be starting with this, starting with the what is scientifically the best option, and then going back and finessing it so that it looks nice. What do you guys think to the Wild Pines Group new logo? I am quite happy with how this has come together, and I definitely think it's an improvement from this. We'll make some variant logos. We've got yet another banger. That's what I love. That's what I love to hear. That's what I like to see. I do like a banger. Older modal. Thank you for the kind words, and also welcome in. I'm going to just temporarily cut that out, throw that back on. So now we got that on a separate layer. I just wanted that on a separate layer. I always I'm going to be a little bit vulnerable. I'm always a little bit apprehensive about doing this as like an art stream, because there is something inherently corporate about this kind of art. Like, there are some designers that don't consider themselves artists, and I'm like, dude, have some faith in yourself. I've just changed, as you can see, I've just changed this to a very, very darker version of this screen, just because, again, bum ass pure white and bum ass pure black. We don't fuck with that around here. Like, I know a lot of designers that are like, I don't consider myself an artist because I'm just a designer. And I'm like, dude, design is art with to say art with purpose makes like other forms of art seem purposeless, and that's not what I'm trying to say. But design is, by its very nature, art with a fundamental purpose. It is a subgenre of art. Saying that, like, I do consider myself an artist, but I always think like maybe people, like other artists maybe don't take what I do to be art. Like, I have many times gone to art groups, been in art servers, gone to art communities, gone to events for like art, gone to like art meetups, and always it's a bunch of illustrators, and I go and I feel uncomfortable. Because when they say artist, they mean illustrator, or they mean like person who does art for like the craft. And like my art is very sort of, obviously like I do art for fun. This is me doing art for fun. And I'm very much like, this is part of the reason that I encourage people to make different weird art together, because I don't want people to just think art is illustration. You know what I mean? See now, okay. Let's get into some more optical. Let's learn a thing together. Let's get into optical alignment. These two bits of text, the words wild pines and the words group, they are mathematically left aligned. So they are both. Let's grab a guide. They are both. In fact, the W is further left. Enjoy your stamina royale. The W is in fact further left than the G, but don't fucking look it, does it? Because so much of the W starts over this line. We need to drag this over until like the midpoint is here. That breaks the rule. That breaks the rule. However, now it is optically aligned rather than being mathematically aligned. And now we need to take one of these letters. Let's take the S. And that's going to be our guide. So take the S, whack it against the G. Let's make an outline of it. That is now miles away. So let's take it down. We did 2/3 before, so 66.6. Pull that back in. Pull that back in. So that is now kissing against that. Even that looks so far away because we've got the same problem here. So we need to pull it in even more so. So the midpoint of this S, you can maybe even pull it a little bit higher. We really want to get, it's not about the last pixel, it's about the weight. It's got to feel aligned. Even that, like you could park a truck in this spot. So I'm going to continue to pull this in. And now you see that green line, that snap. Now the edge of this is touching the edge of the W. But if you zoom out, there's still a chasm of space there. Less space there. But it now looks aligned. It now looks harmonious. We could probably shrink the word group a little bit there, but I quite like it the size that it is. Let's go and talk about our other colors. So at the minute, our colors, we've sort of gone out of line here a little bit, but I am going to roll with it. Our main colors right now are, we've got, let's go to our, we go horizontal, we go 100, and then we go 60, because we are, one thing I've taught a couple of people now is the 60, 30, 10 rule for, the 60, 30, 10 rule for color palettes. You go 60% of your colors, 60% of your color should be your main color. And for that, we have the green, which is this lovely foresty green. And then we've got 30% should be your secondary color, which is this blue. And then the last 10% should be your accent color. And for a green-blue palette, we've got options. We could either go for another shade of green, another shade of blue, or if we go over to our color palette panel here, which you realize I use quite a lot, it is suggesting an orange. And that adds a nice pop. We can even try making that. I mean, it doesn't work in that instance, but it does add a nice little pop. You could even see as an accent color, it works quite well against the green. Like if we like it does just adds a nice bit of pop, you know, a nice bit of pizzazz. And then we need our white, because our black, our quote unquote black, is this dark blue, and we need our quote unquote white. And for that, fill the whole ass thing. Pull this across. And then start off by going, how does this pink look? Realize it looks terrible. What happened to... I see. Why are you in the compound shape? You shouldn't be in the I didn't tell you to be in the compound shape. You penis. Sorry, just getting mad at my layers, you know. Ooh, I quite like going into this sort of not quite tan color. So we use the accent color as our white, and I quite like that. We should group these. Why aren't we grouping these? God, I'm such a waste of space. Let's whack this over here, whack this over here, just so it's centered to this sort of sub area that we're on. Look at that though! Isn't that banging? Isn't that absolutely fucking banging? I was about to do a thing. I'd forgotten to do a thing, and because I got I remembered that I'd forgotten to do a thing, and now I can't remember what it was. Let's do a little variant here. A little variant of the logo. It's such a good white, isn't it? It's technically an orange, which is super subtle. It's like way up here, but it's such a lovely color, and it makes both the green and the blue both pop. Biggest upgrade yet, and it's going to be hard to top. Like, it helped that we had a real duffer to start with. I just want to try something, and I know I did something like this not so long ago with this very design, but let's make this, and let's put this forward. Which one of these is forward? There we go. Is this anything? I am unsure. 166. No, that's way too big. It's way too big. Right. Okay. I know what we need to do. Shrink this down to 2/3. No. This makes it look too small. This makes the logo look too small. Don't like it. Tried a thing, didn't like a thing, got rid of the thing. Usually we would make a badge as well. Do we want to maybe move into variants? Do we want to maybe make a badge for this? Because honestly, I think for all the use cases, the standalone glyph is the way forward. Like, I can for quote unquote the content. I'm just not sure it'll get any use. Badges are super easy. We go bam, then we expand by 20%. Okay. Remove the fill. Path, please. And wild. We go. Make it real diddy. Not that diddy. That's too diddy. Some people say, like, what is the use case of a badge? And this one would look good on employee uniforms. Give the letters a little bit of breathing room. Pull this back in. And then we want to copy paste. We want 2 copies of that. And we just write group. Auto that up. And now, okay. Adjusting the type on a path is super funky. You've got to be super, like, careful with it. Because it doesn't like to be futzed with. You need to find specific, like, pixels to futz with. And straight up, it just does not like it sometimes. But once you've found the special pixel, boom, wild pines. We shrink that down. What was the name of this font? What was the name of this font that we paired it with? Corbel Light. Corbel Light. Boom. Easy. We could add a bounding box for it. Which is relatively easy to do. I'm just unsure if it's like necessary. But honestly, I think this is just... It's putting a hat on a hat. Like, for real, I'm super happy with how this has come out. We say biggest glow up yet. I think we had a really duffer thing to... We did get real funky with it. I think we had a real duffer starting point. And we've come up with something that not only looks legitimately like it could be like the thing I push in these streams a lot is the verisimilitude. Like, I want to make things that look like they could legitimately be real logos. I don't just want to just have a bit of fun with it. There's always time 147.14. That's not terrible. But yeah, I always push the verisimilitude of these things. Like, I don't ever want to make something just for the sake of making it. Like, if you look at this or this next to these, like, it doesn't look out of place in amongst, like, if I get rid of BP, if I tell BP to screw off, then let me just grab that color. Like, if I told BP to screw off and replaced it with wild pines, like that fits right in, right? It fits right in. And that's what that's what I'm trying, that's what kind of what these exercises are all about. Like, it's not just about maybe you focus on the writing or gameplay or anything else. Maybe you should focus on the writing or gameplay. It fits right in and is its own distinct flavor. Like, that's the aim, that's the goal. Like, it looks like it's supposed to be in the room with all of the other big boys, but you can totally tell who it is. And yeah, this is again, Kona said it, but I am going to agree, this may be the best one we've done in a while. I am going to save. Nobody told me to save. Let's call wow. And all this in 1 hour 47 minutes. Like, for reals. We do a lot of more corporate logos here because they're the ones that are easiest to wham out. If you know what you're doing, and you've got like the starting point foundations that I've like worked for a fucking decade to build. Maybe pin a comment telling us to remind you to save. Maybe. When you've got like the fucking decade of fundamentals that I have, it's you can speedrun a corporate logo. I do like doing the funkier stuff though. I posted on Blue Sky some of my funkier logos. The stuff that I did for Error, going to write a program that screams at you to say really right. Making it a redeem would be a good idea, especially if the redeem had like an on-stream like burp, burp, save your progress. That would be useful. But yeah, I might make that happen. But yeah, I'm so happy with this. I'm really glad with how that's come out. I will be back Saturday for not a wrestling is silly, for a scary game. I think it's going to be Poppy Playtime because it's a goofy mascot horror that isn't Five Nights at Freddy's. Auto hotkey, just press Control Alt S if it is. That's not a bad idea. But yes, back on Saturday for some probably Poppy Playtime. Other than that, back on Monday for what might be the finale of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I woke up with Twitch being on Poppy Playtime preview. That sounds haunted. Yeah, might be the final stream of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth on Monday. Might not be, but we are at the first point of no return, so we need to decide if we're wrapping everything up. What after that? After that, it's Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. We're playing Pirate Yakuza after that. That's gonna be a bag of laughs. That's a great fucking game. So join us on Monday for what might be the end of Yakuza Infinite Wealth. Wednesdays for more of this. Saturdays, this Saturday Poppy Playtime, then next Saturday more Wrestling is Silly. Tell a friend. I've never asked you to do this before, but if you like how this vibe is, tell somebody that you think would like this vibe. One of our most like loyal, one of our like highlights of the community came here because they were recommended by a friend. And also, yes, as Demo pointed out, if you want to get the shit out, you can get the shit out notebook, journal, ideas thing. If you join the Ko-fi at the Buccaneers bounty level by the end of this month. ! Ko-fi for a link. But yeah, if you think that you know someone that might like this vibe, tell them. Discovery on Twitch is awful. So if you telling a friend is a better recommendation for any streamer, not just me, any streamer, tell a friend that there's this weird pirate that makes logos and you might like them. We're going to raid out into somebody now. We're going to raid out into... I'm looking at all the people that I know that are streaming. Shall we go and say hi to... We have... I almost said Picaspe's playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, Picaspe doesn't need my raid. Should we go and say hello to somebody playing Hades? Somebody playing Hades 2? We like the idea of Hades 2. Or maybe we've got a scary game. So I've got somebody playing a FNAF game. We're not going to raid into a FNAF game. What do I look like? I know. Let's say hello to... we've raided... I think we've raided into Prolo before, but she's playing Monster Road Trip, which sounds sorry, Monster Prom 3, Monster Road Trip, and the Monster Prom games are always super fun. So let's go say hello to Prolo doing the road trip. I love telling my pals about the weird MB pirate that makes logos. That's the attitude that we love. Tell your friends about the weird MB pirate making logos and playing games. There's your raid message if you're gonna come with us. If you're not a sub, use any emotes. Just drop that raid message in chat. Join the Discord, and again, tell your friends to join the Discord if you think they'll like the vibe. And I'm gonna push it big time before we go. Me and Zach have a shop on Etsy called Nerdy Queer. It's some of the coolest shit you'll see on Etsy, and we're working at bringing you more cool shit. But please buy from us. Sales are not doing so well right now. But yeah, until then, book an air, book far with book your. I hope you're having a fantastic rest of your day. I'll catch you in the next one. But until then, love you, bye.